Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and it's time for the Valiant Weekly comic book. So 3 comic books came out this week from Valiant, and I'm going to do them all as simple as 1, 2, and 3. So we've got Rye issue number 1, Roku issue number 2, Bloodshot issue number 3. I'm never going to get the opportunity to do that again. I'm just saying. That was kind of really cool setup. Okay, so let's get going with this. First, let's start off with, I'm going to do the ones that I actually know first. I know a little bit about Roku. Okay, Roku is a freaking awesome character. I know her from one book. That's issue number 1. Now issue number 2 is here. Let's talk about who made the characters here. We got writer Cullen Bunn, art Ramon F. Bax, and Stefano. Okay, it's hard to do all these people's names, so I'm just going to throw it up there. That's everybody there. This was a really, really fun book. Issue number 1 blew me out the frickin' water, right? This particular issue blew me away, but I was still in the water. So, good book, really good book. It's hard to top that first issue, though. Here, there's a whole lot more action, though. So, think about it that way. If you're just all about the action, this one's going to be great. There's some more story. There's the girl, Mary Beth, all right? Mary Beth is this little girl. She's got this chip in the back of her neck, and it allows her to stream from the dark web. And not even just allows her. Allow her is the wrong word. She automatically uploads from the, or downloads from the dark web. She's got all this information going through her. She knows Roku's original name. Roku didn't even know her original name. She's like, wait, Angelina, who? What? Who are you calling me? So yeah, just... wow, this poor little girl is jacked, this little Mary Beth girl. She is now the target of all these people trying to come and get her. Looks like some from MI6, looks like a whole bunch from a bunch of more shadowy, shifty organizations. I'm wondering at one point if Ninjak, is going to be sent in also, because, yeah. So, for right now, this regular team comes in. She's got to wipe through these guys. There's this girl, what's her name? Elena. Her name is Elena, and she's there trying to protect Mary Beth as best she could. She failed, like, Mary Beth is reading from the dark web. She's like, yeah, you tried to apply for MI6, but you suck. You got, like, booted because you lost, you failed all of your tests and whatnot. You didn't qualify on anything. She's like, well, shut up, man. I can handle this. She pulls out this giant freaking Gatling gun, starts blowing away, like, just... trying to take everybody out. She misses everybody. One dude fires a handgun at her. One shot, she goes down. Ah, dude, yeah. Listen, some people just don't belong in the military. I'm just saying. They probably did her a favor by not letting her come in. Like, just the biggest ever. Ever. So she gets jacked up immediately. Roku comes in and just start wiping the floor of these guys. And I'm like, man, who's going to be able to take her down? And then all of a sudden you see who could. The minister of Blades comes in, and he's just got control over anything that's sharp. So he can just like hold a dagger and it just flies out of his hand and goes after it. And he do it with like a whole bunch of just start, throwing weapons everywhere. She comes at him with this sword. She can't go past a certain point because like, no, I'm not going to let it touch me because I'm the master of blades. Wow. An entirely new governing body just beating up all the ninjas. That's sick. Oh, but that's not all. There are other people she has to contend with also. Seriously powerhouse people. Some she can't even see. I love this. This has a great killers, K6, Key 6, they're calling it now. This is an amazing book where just like all these people with specialized powers come in and start going after each other. It feels like something out of Dragon Ball Z. That is not a good thing. It's an amazing thing. So dude, more of that, please. This is a great book. Let's talk about Bloodshot issue number 3. This is the easiest one. Like, dude, for a character I knew nothing about just a couple of short weeks ago, I cannot get enough of this. And this is on my must-read list. I think I already told you this is in my pull bin. You can't miss this one anymore because boom. So Bloodshot is now in a situation, like he's actually feeling pain. Anybody who knows Bloodshot knows that's a big deal. He's a guy who feels no pain. Suddenly he's feeling pain for the first time forever. Dude, they delve into his past a little bit. And to show how we first met this one character, might be a first appearance, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the characters here. But they go and show him from his past. There was a time when he was hunting vampires with a specialized kill team. Meanwhile, in his brain, he's programmed to think, oh yeah, I'm back in Vietnam and I'm trying to extract my buddy who was kidnapped against the Vietnamese. He sees these weird shaped vampires and stuff like that, and he's just like, oh man, yeah, the dark has done a lot of crazy things to these guys, you know, tunneling all the time. It's like, dude, what? Oh, wow. How a character this sick has passed my perception this entire time, this is a seriously, seriously good comic book. The ending just got me giddy because I'm already in love with this character Bloodshot at this point. I cannot wait to see this movie. This is a must-have. This is like, dude, I'm going to start a watch party, something like that. I'm going to go with a whole bunch of people and see Vin Diesel coming out as Bloodshot. They need to do figures. I know they put out a figure at one point, a Bloodshot figure at like Baltimore Comic-Con or something like that. Nah, I need to get my hands on one of these figures, especially if it's one of those 6-inch figures, go with all my Marvel and DC collection. Oh, hells yes. I need to get a Bloodshot figure because this dude, man, wow, there are so many stories they can tell with this. I'm in love. So now we're going to end up with, oh, did I mention, I didn't even mention who did this book because duh. Tim Seeley is the writer, explains why it's so good. Brett Booth on art, explains why the art's so good. Alessio Corona on inks, colorist Andrew Dalhouse, and letterer Dave Sharp. You can check out all the people down here. I love how they make everything like files. They got, you know, redacted stuff on there. This is just gorgeous. I love this. The last book, number 1 on this list from Valiant, would be the Rye, issue number 1. So this is a return of this character. Somebody told me a while ago there's a certain relationship between him and Bloodshot, like this is the future Bloodshot or something like that. I don't know. I literally know almost nothing about this character. I do know that Dan Abnett is the writer. Hot damn, signed me up. Artist Juan Jose Rip, colors Andrew Dahlhaus. Again, dude's pulling some double duty. So is Dave Sharp on letters. So a bunch of people on this, really good. I love that they actually tell you where in the world they are right now. I think Carmen Sandiego is there, and anyway, you get the gist. So this is a fun comic book. All right, this is a fun comic book. We actually start off with this little version of Rye, but it's actually an older model, but it never like grew up. So it's technically like his dad or his big brother. It's more like his big brother. The father character in here apparently was the main sentient program for New Japan, which was supposed to be responsible for taking care of everybody in the world, apparently. Anyway, that wound up not working. I think Rye killed him at one point for, I'm sure, good reasons. I'm sure they weren't nefarious. Anyway, taking suckers out, man. Taking suckers out. And then what happens? At one point, anyway, they're just driving through the desert. It's almost like Mad Max, sometime in the far distant future, and this young program isn't used to combat, but now it's getting used to it because Rye is now a pacifist, but he still goes out and fights at one point. I don't get it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to compare this to a song, okay? On the drive to the comic book store today, I heard Rolling Stone, Gimme Shelter. You know what I'm saying? I heard it from the beginning. I'm just like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Now, Gimme Shelter is one of those songs that if you come into the middle of it or after the first minute or so, you're like, oh, Gimme Shelter. And you listen to it, and it's like really great background music. You bop your head to it a little bit. It's cool. You can talk to your friend while it's on, and you're happy. But if you listen to it from the beginning of the song, it's an entirely different experience because it starts off slow, and then all of a sudden starts, you know, your shoulders start moving, your hips start swaying, you're not bopping along with it, your neck starts grinding into, you start really get into it because that's a badass song, man. That's a badass song. And Mick starts coming in, I'm like, ooh, give me shelter. It's like, oh, there's like orgasmic feel. It's a freaking amazing song, right? I'm going to compare that to Rye. Because this issue of Rye, because it didn't give me a whole lot. It felt like I jump into this and it's a good book. I jump into this and it's not a jumping on point. It doesn't feel like a jumping on point at all. This is one of those books. Look, These two, I highly recommend grabbing these issues, trying to grab issue 1 and issue 1 and 2 respectively for these books, because they're great books. And they're books that I enjoy waiting that month or so in between the books. This one, I almost feel like it's going to be better in trade, but I'm not there yet to know. I have to read issue 2 to see, like, are they going to start giving more history? Because they do give some of the history here. But it's, back to the idea of, the Gimme Shelter song. It's just so much better if you start off from the beginning of the song. If you jump in the middle of the song and it's on the radio, it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same. But it's still an amazing song. And that's how I'm going to have to compare issue number 1 of Rye. It's Dan Abnett, all right? This is a really, really good story. But it just doesn't come to that level of greatness with issue 1 for me, because I definitely jumped on in the middle of this particular song. But it's still a Stones song, so I'm cool. So I will be reading issue number 2. I just felt like it was there. It had everything I needed except the proper history. Hopefully they do that for me in issue 2. Hopefully at least within this first 6 issues, but I'm really hoping the next issue will actually explain to me what's going on, because this just feels like a book that it's deserving of knowing the history. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University, for Valiant Weekly. Class dismissed.